Halloween's over, put the pumpkins away because it's about to get holly jolly up in here. If you're new here, I'm Rian, a Christ-following wife and a homeschool mom to 3 boys. Here we talk all things homeschool, and we will learn together how to use our roles as wife, mom, teacher, and homemaker in order to glorify God. So I know there's those of you who are like, but it's time for Thanksgiving. And don't get me wrong, I love Thanksgiving as much as the next person, right? I love to eat, I'm thankful, but I can also eat good food and be thankful at Christmas time. So why not just make it one thing? I mean, we won't get into that argument today, but just think about it. So here, I'm going to share with you what I got my 4 boys for Christmas. This collab is hosted by my friend Wendy over at Plan Prep Pray. If you do not know her, which I'm sure you do, but if you don't, check out her channel. She's all things productivity, and she's been thrown in a little bit of biblical womanhood and even some cleaning in there. So if you need tips on how to run your home and run it well, you will definitely want to go check her out. We have decided that Christmas shopping in October is right where it's at for us as a family. We like to at least get our boys' stuff taken care of, and anything else we can squeeze in as far as the budget goes and as far as just time and knowing what to get people goes, I like to knock it out in October. I hate being a last minute person for anything, but especially Christmas shopping, so I like to have them wrapped and under my tree and just be able to enjoy December. So I try to get as much done in October as possible and then finish up in November and then trying to do any shopping in December. If I do any shopping, it's going to be for food and, just experiences, going and checking out Christmas lights, stuff like that. Because I just like to actually enjoy the holidays and not just be hustling and bustling like everybody else. Now for our boys, what we've always done is a want, need, wear, and read gift. I know some people don't go in with a plan. I know there's many different ways to plan. I know some people are just here's what they want, that's what they're getting. Some people have, kind of the gifts of the Magi type plan. But this want, need, wear, read has always worked for us. And so they get something that they actually want. It's usually some sort of toy or something like that. Then they get something that they need, which varies year to year. Sometimes it ends up being shoes or something, which is technically something you wear, but it can be kind of anything that they need. And then obviously something you wear can be, a shirt, a hat, some shoes, some jeans, whatever. And then something to read, because what's a homeschool family if they don't buy books at Christmas time, right? So I have, in case you are new here or don't know, I have a 11-year-old boy, a 9-year-old boy, a 4-year-old boy, and a freshly turned 1-year-old boy. And so we have a little bit of everyone, right? We don't have any teenagers yet, but it's coming. So let's get started. So first up on their wants, all 3 of the big boys have asked for a transformer. So they've been into transformers since my oldest was 5. And I keep thinking oh, they're kind of past that, at least the older 2. But then I go downstairs and they randomly have them all strung out everywhere again. So apparently we're not past that, because when I asked for Christmas lists, all 3 of them had a transformer on their list. So this is my oldest son's. If you're not a boy mom and not a transformer mom, these are going to mean nothing to you, and they really don't even mean much to me. But these are the specific ones they asked for. I don't even know who this guy is. Smokescreen is this guy's name. This is Ratchet. Now this one we got off Amazon, but it's from Japan. You'll see the Japanese writing, so I was a little bit sketched out. I'm is this legitimate or what? But my husband did a lot of research, and Japan was the only one that carried this yellowish green one, and that was very specifically what my son asked for. So they watch some of the new Transformers TV shows. They haven't watched the movies. Those are not very appropriate for them, but some of their favorite Transformer shows are the ones that were around when I was a kid, the late 80s, early 90s ones. And actually some of them are even older than me. They're from the mid 80s. So they ask for very specific Transformers that typically aren't the ones that are popular in stores right now. So that makes it a little more difficult. But you should recognize this guy at least. This is Optimus Prime. This is for my 4-year-old, which we have, I think, 2 other Optimus Primes. But he specifically asked for an Optimus Prime with an axe. And this guy has an axe. So I'm okay, great. There's your, I don't know what's so cool about the axe, but apparently it's a big deal. And for my 1-year-old, we are taking a dive. His is a little more expensive. Usually I spend less on the 1-year-old, which overall I did end up spending less on him, but he is getting a cozy coop. We have purchased it and it's downstairs. It's just not assembled. So I don't want to assemble that just for this video. I'm sorry, but We all know them, we all love them, right? Somehow I've made it through 4 kids and never purchased one. And my 4-year-old still rides in the one at church. And so I'm like, you know what? We have a basement with concrete floors, perfect space for a cozy hoop. So he's getting that for his want gift, because obviously he can't tell me really what he wants other than he says more and milk. So so since their wants were not super big or expensive or anything, for the budget that we were working on this year, we decided to get at least the 3 older boys. The baby's not going to care about this for a while. We decided to get our older boys a group gift also. That was fairly reasonable. I think this was about $60. It is a little electric drum set. So it's like a tabletop version. Of course, we could have gotten them like the big one, but that's like $300 and that wasn't in the budget this year. So this is just kind of like a starter to just kind of practice on and kind of get used to drumming. This is only a big deal because my oldest son especially is always tapping and drumming on everything. And he's fairly like, I can listen and I'm like, okay, he has some rhythm to him. He's not just like banging on things. But he's always talked about drumming and stuff. And so have my younger 2 haven't talked about it as much, but kind of whatever one of them does, they all tend to like and do. So I think this will be something fun. They played one like similar to this at a friend's house one time. And so it has a headphone jack, very important in a house of boys. And so they can wear their headphones and just drum away. And if it's something that any of them really like and are picking up on, then we can maybe move up to a different kit at a later time. I know our church would be very grateful. We have a shortage of drummers often for our church. And so if one of them actually like picked it up and was good at it, it would be a blessing to our church. So hopefully this is fun for them. For their need, my 3 older boys are getting these off of Amazon. They're in the process of getting here, but I don't have them yet. These are just plain quilts. They all are just kind of like make and do with whatever blankets they have. As a mom who likes things to look nice and whatever, I'm like, it would be nice if you guys had like real quilts on your bed. They've had comforters in the past and they've always just been those cheapy ones that have ripped and whatever. And so these are only about $30 on Amazon, so they're not expensive. They're not old enough for me to trust them with expensive things like that. So, but I got them in just solid colors that match their rooms. So my 2 older boys have bunk beds, and so they'll have these 2 colors. And then my youngest shares a room with the baby, and their room is more of like mustard yellows and olive green colors, and so this one's his. So they probably won't be too thrilled with those, but it's a need. So you don't always want what you need, right? And I think they'll be, you know, somewhat excited because my house is always very cool. I like to say cool. Some people would say cold, but gas prices are high, y'all. So sorry. They live in the basement. I'm just like, layer up and put on some more blankets. And for my baby's need, he is just getting some more cups, some more sippy cups. He just now is starting to kind of drink out of a cup. He much prefers to just nurse, but we are using these type of sippy cups from Munchkin. I never knew how these things worked. I had kids in nursery who used them and I didn't want to like mess with their cups, you know, get my germs all over them. So I was always just like, how are you getting anything out of that? And then I actually bought one and realized how they work, and my 1-year-old likes them and they really are spill proof. So they are a win in our book. For there's something to wear, no one really needed anything that bad. My oldest needs jeans, but that's a wild goose chase because he's like way tall and about this big around. So we're just doing that on our own time and on our own budget later. But for their wear gift, the 3 oldest have asked for How Ridiculous t-shirts. If you're not familiar with How Ridiculous, it is a YouTube channel from Australia, and it's kind of like Dude Perfect-ish. I think they've actually like competed with Dude Perfect for, I don't know, whatever, the trick shots and all the things, right? They're a little more focused on like what happens if we do this and this as opposed to the trick shot. They do some trick shots too, but it's just kind of fun, silly stuff, a little bit science related, because it's just like, hey, what happens if we, you know, shoot an arrow through however many panes of glass, and they do it all in slow motion. And so, I mean, it's a little bit of learning, but it's mostly just for fun. But my boys love this YouTube channel, and it's fairly clean. There's a little bit of potty humor, which I live in a house of boys, so that's just kind of our second language around here. But anyway, they have a merch shop. My second son, for his birthday, got one of their hats and a Rexy, which is their doll, dinosaur thing that they do things with on the show. And they have all asked for how ridiculous t-shirts or sweatshirts. They're getting ready to drop new merch any day. So I haven't been able to order that because they're out. The merch that they have, they're out of any sizes that would work for my boys. So I'm just waiting for that new merch to drop. And their prices are always really reasonable. And the shipping was actually like next to nothing, which I was surprised. I'm like, this is coming from Australia. Like, this might get pricey, but it was really reasonable last time we ordered from them. And then for the baby, for his wear, I am getting him a new pair of overalls. I love a little boy, like age like 7 and under. I love a little boy in overalls and like a striped t-shirt and Converse. Like that is, I think, the cutest outfit a little boy could wear. It's like very 1950s-ish. I don't know, I'm weird, but he's getting a new pair of Oshkosh overalls. They were running a really good deal on them, so those will be coming soon. So for their read gift, my oldest is actually going to get this drumming book. So this was really cheap, like under $10. And it is just kind of like the basics of drumming so that he can read that and practice on the new set and, you know, kind of see if this is something he's really interested in or not. And then my second son, the 9-year-old, is getting Football Like a Pro. This is by Sports Illustrated. He is all things football. Both of my oldest boys play. My third son is like chomping at the bit. He gets to play next season because he'll be 5. But my second son, he's just like, he's really into like writing plays and to like looking when we're watching football. He's like, oh, did you see that? That was a flag. Oh, did you see this? He did this. He analyzes stuff. And so I'm like, you know what? We're going to foster that interest and we're going to get him the Football Like a Pro book. For my third son, he's very into superheroes. And so we're getting him one of those Look and Find books, the Spidey one. This was only like $5. And the Football Like a Pro was like $6 or $7. But the Spidey Look and Find, he loves these Look and Find books. And so the fact that it's Spider-Man, he's going to be thrilled. And then for the baby, I found this good deal on the Sandra Boynton books. We have a couple of these, but I don't have any of these box sets. And the books in this specific box set, we did not have yet. And so this was like $12 and it contains 3 or 4 books. I can't remember. So pretty good deal. Her books are always fun and I love the like rhyming schemes and the little songs and everything. So that is it. We still have stocking things that we're purchasing, but that will be in a future video. And so if you are interested in anything Christmas, I will be doing, like I said, a stocking video. I'll also be sharing kind of what we'll be using for the Advent season, what will be changing in our homeschool around the Christmas season. So stick around if you're interested in any of that. And I will link some of this stuff below if I have a link to it. I'm not an Amazon affiliate or anything, so I won't get any kickback, but just in case you're interested in some of these deals that I got, if they're still available. And share down below, what are you getting your kiddos for Christmas if you know yet? I thank you so much for watching and I'll talk to you next time. Bye! Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year.